Hey guys, it's Hoops Convo, and today we're going to be talking about 5 players who I think have a chance to make a big leap next season. But before we do that, if you guys want more future opinions and breakdowns, I'd really appreciate it if you guys can hit that notification button, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Thank you. Now we'll first start off this video talking about the New York Knicks young forward, RJ Barrett. He's an interesting young player because when you look at his first 3 years, he's gradually gotten better, but there's legitimate concerns about his efficiency. He gets to the rim at will, which is the main strength of his game. He's a pretty good catch and shoot shooter from 3, a solid playmaker from what I've seen, and he's a good one-on-one defender also. The areas where I think he can improve the most is the efficiency at the rim. He gets to the basket a lot, but he just doesn't convert at a high level. He can also improve the shooting overall, from the mid-range, the three-pointer, and especially the free throw line. If he can improve those weaknesses, I think he's in for a huge year 4 with the New York Knicks. After the All-Star break last season, he was averaging about 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists on a 22-game sample size, which kind of suggests he's on the verge of breaking out, but he has to improve the efficiency like we've talked about. The Knicks finally addressed their point guard situation in signing Jalen Brunson this offseason, so I do expect the game to be a little easier for him. I see Knicks fans all the time rave about RJ Barrett's work ethic and mentality, and those are the players you just can't bet against. When you look throughout NBA history, what you realize is wing players take about 4 to 5 years to truly blossom. Don't be surprised if RJ Barrett is averaging about 21 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and is named an All-Star for the first time in his career. Up next, we have the future face of the Minnesota Timberwolves, guard Anthony Edwards. He had a pretty promising second year. He averaged about 21 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and I was really impressed by his defense. He's only about 6'4", 220 with a 6'10 wingspan, so he isn't the most gifted physically, but with his smarts, his quickness, his athleticism, he's able to guard bigger wings. I think he has a real shot to blow up next season, the way Ja Morant did this past season. The signs are definitely there. He averaged 25 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists on 45, 40, 80% shooting. And that was just his first playoff appearance with no experience. That's very impressive for a second-year player. The Minnesota Timberwolves added Rudy Gobert this offseason, and as a result, I do expect a leap up in the standings and even more attention given to Anthony Edwards. He's a former #1 pick, so it's a given that he'll improve immensely, but I don't think people really understand how special this kid is. With his creation ability, he already projects to be a 25 to 30 points per game scorer in his prime one day. He's also an improving playmaker and a very good defender, especially one-on-one. Don't be surprised one day if Anthony Edwards is the best shooting guard in the entire league. That's just how special of a talent he is. After that, we have the Philadelphia 76ers third-year combo guard, Tyrese Maxey. Maxey was easily one of the most improved players from last season, and it kinda went under the radar. He averaged roughly 18 points and 4 assists on 49, 43, and 87 shooting splits. That's just crazy efficiency for a second-year guard. He reminds me so much of Tony Parker, just the way he plays, the way he attacks, the way he's able to get into the paint, throw his floater up. It's so Tony Parker-like. You could argue last season he was the Philadelphia 76ers' second best player, just behind Joel Embiid. And I think we saw a little glimpse of the breakout in the playoffs last year against the Raptors, and he showed promise against the Miami Heat. He averaged roughly 21 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds on a 12-game sample size, and he shot nearly 50, 40, 90 from the field. Just an impressive showing from a second-year guard. I expect him to have a monster year in year 3. He might average like 24 points and 5 assists on really good efficiency, and I also expect the Sixers to be really, really good. He has to be the yearly favorite to win the Most Improved Player award next season, in my opinion. Let's say he's averaging about 23 points and 5 assists, and the Sixers are the 1 seed. It wouldn't shock me if he gets voted in as a first-time All-Star. Daryl Morey deserves a lot of credit for getting this guy in the 20s back in the 2020 NBA draft. He's a gem. Now let's talk about the Indiana Pacers' promising young point guard, Tyrese Haliburton. He's only just 22 years old, and he's already one of the smartest and most complete point guards in the entire league. And he's also really efficient. On a 26-game sample size with the Pacers last season, he averaged 18 points and 10 assists on nearly 50, 40, 90 shooting. That's the efficiency I'm talking about. We'll see if he can sustain that efficiency from an 82-game standpoint and a bigger role from the jump, but it's impressive regardless. The Pacers as an organization are in a very interesting situation because this past season they decided to tear it all up and go on a full rebuild. So as a team, I don't expect them to be very good next season because they could be a team that's looking to tank for Victor Wembanyama, one of the best prospects we've ever seen in the last 25 years. So that could hurt Tyrese's ability to rack up awards such as the most improved player and potential all-star appearance. Or maybe I'm overthinking it and he's exceptionally good next season where they can't leave him off the all-star game. Individually, I'm expecting Tyrese to have a very big year 3. He could potentially average 20 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assist type numbers. Long term, he has everything to be one of the faces of the franchise and someone you could build around. Now for the last player on this list is Blazers combo guard Anthony Simons. He's the most underrated player on this list today and also someone who I could see being a dark horse for the MIP next season. The Dame and CJ era came to an end this past season, and a big reason why, in my opinion, is because of this kid. He's almost a decade year younger than CJ, and he has a chance to be just as good, if not better than him. His game reminds me so much of the Golden State Warriors' Jordan Poole in terms of his ability to break down defenses with his handle, the pull-up shooting. He's just a very gifted offensive player. If you compare his counting stats and his efficiency numbers to Jordan Poole, they're very identical. I'm predicting Damian Lillard and Anthony Simons to be one of the best scoring backcourts in the entire league next season, maybe top 5 even. It wouldn't surprise me next season if he's averaging 23 points and 5 assists on great efficiency while he's at the top of the MIP discussion and the Blazers are overachieving. So do you guys agree with me or disagree with me? Let me know in the comments. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps out the channel and for more future content. If you guys want more basketball opinions and breakdowns, this is the channel to be at. And like I say in every video, we're called Hoops Convo for a reason. Thanks and take care.